All right, guys, here it is as promised. We're going to go over the equation of a line and slope. And so for slope, all it is just rise over run. So right here, right now, we have two lines that are negative, and they're negative because the rise to get to the line isn't vertical in a positive direction. It's vertical in a negative direction. So if I start here at this line, I always start at a point that's in the corner, right? It's directly in that plus area or it's directly on that corner line. And then I'm trying to find the next part of the line that gets to that, right? So that's that next part of the line, right? So if I do rise over run, notice again, my rise isn't going up, it's going down. So I go down one to the right two. So right here, right now, I know is 1/2, but now that one is negative because I'm going down first. So that's how I figure out the rise over run, right? So now when it comes into play about slope and y-intercept, my y-intercept here in this situation, it's here, right? It's probably at like a 1/2 or whatever the case may be. So my slope here will be a negative 1/2. That will be my M. And my B is at a positive 1/2, right? And I can kind of see it from the line, right? That's just how I recognize what it is. So M stands for slope, and B is my y-intercept. And that's how we kind of start our problem for an equation of a line, right? So if I go to the next slide, we'll be able to start to figure out, okay, how we can execute this thing, right? So now let's go over what's what. So remember, my M is my slope. So we always write whole numbers over one. So it's never just a whole number because we always have rise over run. And then my y-intercept will be at 0, comma 2, right? So I always want to just be in the habit of writing my y-intercept as a coordinate point so that I know where to go from or where to start from, right? And so here it's at a +2. So I go up 2, and this is my y-intercept. So my line is going to be from here. It's going to be in a positive direction. So my line is going to kind of look this way, right? And so now I know we have a positive slope. So I know I'm supposed to go up 3. Well, I can't really go up 3 on this graph. So now in this graph, I want to go be able to go down 3 and to the left 1. So it's almost like I'm flipping the graph upside down. So I want to go to the left 1 because if I'm going down with a positive slope, I have to go also in a negative direction for a positive run, if that makes sense. So again, I go down 3 to the right 1. And when I start to look at this, I can see where my line is going to be at. And so now I can draw a line in this direction. And of course, on this thing, it's extremely difficult to draw a line, but I hope you guys get the point of how we're doing it, how we're drawing this line. And again, we'll go over this in class um, for our next class, but this is just kind of how you do it. And here's how you double check the points, right? We said that we have a rise over run that's positive. Well, if I go from this bottom point, I go 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1, that's my point. 1, 2, 3 to the right 1, that's my point. And then I pretty much just try to draw a straight line freehand as best as possible. And that's kind of what our line will look like for the most part. And that's kind of how we deal with drawing a line. And so as you get to this last page, you'll have the opportunity to just do the same thing that I did. Your slope will be 2, and your y-intercept will be at 0, comma 1. And then just draw at least 2 points so that you can draw your line accurately. If you guys got any questions or need any pointers or tips, just let me know.